Good morning, traders. It is Wednesday, January 25th, 2023. And I hope we have a more eventful day than we did yesterday, although I guess in the afternoon it got a little bit more exciting, especially after 4 p.m. with the Microsoft earnings. We had some fireworks, although we shot straight up and then just proceeded to work its way back down. You may look at the chart now. I mean, I think we're, this was the shoot up for the Microsoft right here on the 5 minute. That's what I'm wiggling around in the 5 minute, not on the right side of the screen. And so we were down at 98.82 before that news. So we're still above that low, but I retraced a lot of that. So we're going to see what happens here. This is earnings week, so we could get either a lot of activity of people not knowing what to do, or perhaps people are just sitting on their hands and just trading that news. It's one thing about trading futures. You can actually trade on those earnings as opposed to on the actual stock, since it's after trading hours. But I usually don't trade in the afternoon. I've got other things going on that prevent me from doing that usually. Yesterday would have been nice. You could have just waited for it to reverse and then take some points out of it all the way back to the 50% retracement. Set up your fibs and follow it down, or just take 5 points out of it. That was an easy 5-point scalp if you were in front of your screen. At least I believe it would have been, but I didn't trade it. Market opens in about 5 minutes. So I would say in general, we look like we're pretty bearish, but who knows? This could just be a retracement from the news, and then we just start grinding back up again in anticipation of the next set of news. There's actually some pretty good setups right here in pre-market. I did not trade any other than, I think I had mentioned to you yesterday that I had finished evaluation with Bull and Ox, but I didn't have enough days in. I had to get 10 days, so every morning I go in there and I place a trade with a 1-tick take profit and a 1-tick stop loss. I always get slippage on it, though, just on a side note. That's on the micros too, by the way. So theoretically, it should only be $1.25 for the loss if you got a loss, and then something like $1.42 for commissions. I think it's 71 cents each way on Bull and Ox. So that should be around $3, but I always get that extra tick. You never actually get a clean close on that thing. I always get at least a tick of slippage. So it's costing me like $4. So I needed 4 extra days. So I have to have at least $16 above my goal, which I do. I had something like $40 above my goal, so I had $40 to give back in 4 days. So 4 times 4 is only 16, so I should be good. Should be golden. So anyway, so let's settle in. I don't really have any pre-market analysis today other than what I just told you. This is you see that S2, that's a pivot point, and you can see a lot of volume. Most of the volume's taking place right around that pivot point. And value area here, point of control here, this green dash line, a lot of volume at point of control. At this pivot point, which is also very close to the bottom of the this range, fair value range. And same thing here. We have a pivot point. That's interesting. And we have a very mirror image here. Value area. I don't know what I said. Fair market. The value area is between these two kind of purpley lines here. And you can see that's where we have all the value, all the volume, and then at the point of control. All right. Market opens in about 2 minutes. I'm going to go fill my coffee. So let me take a little break here, and I will see you before the market opens. All right, I'm back. Market's gonna open in about 5 seconds. Let's see what's gonna happen today. All right, we're open. Well, we are not actually off gangbusters, are we? Man, look at that. That was an anemic open, wasn't it? Coming to you live today from a very snowy Chicago. I hope the weather's better from wherever you're at. Still getting used to having to operate this stream and trade at the same time and talk at the same time. Be patient. I'll get better. Maybe. All right, let's start drawing some lines and see what we look like here. Maybe something along those lines. We're at the bottom of this channel here, so I'm not entirely sure I would go short, although we are at the bottom, and we are at the bottom of the value area. So if we broke down below this, you know, maybe we've got some room. What do we got to the left here? Yeah, there's not yeah, you can see we've got a lot of liquidity in here, most likely. Once we break through, say, 78, maybe we've got some room down. Where's the end of my chart? Jesus, how far did I go back? Oy. There we go. All right, just tune off, people. This is going to be a long, painful stream, I think. All right, what did I do? Let's see here. Put these back. One of the other streamers that I watch from time to time, he blew up all his accounts earlier this week, and he blames it on watching the chat too much and taking people's advice. So he stopped looking at the chat because he's worried that his trades were influenced by the chat, and that's why he blew them up. Not so sure that's fair to the chat. A lot of activity right here. Doesn't know what it wants to do. The volume's building here. That's what I like about this volume profile, is it kind of gives you an idea of what kind of volume is going on at every point. So you see that it starts to build right at this area. I mean, it doesn't tell the whole story because that's a combination of buyers and sellers. Now this volume up down gives us a little bit of clue, but you can't really go by this bar versus the rest of them because this is the overnight. The volume was very low. So once the market opened after 8:30, now these bars are fair to compare to each other. Just glancing over to make sure that I'm not muted, although maybe you'd prefer I was. Let's go back to our 1 minute, see what we got. Yeah, none of this is clean enough for me to trade on. See, the 2000s can sometimes be a little smoother. Obviously, the bias is bearish this morning. We've been coming down most of the evening. If we break here, maybe we can start thinking about a short, maybe for 5 points or so. Pretty far away from VWAP and the 105. You know, typically if you're below the 105, which is actually just the 21 on the 5 minute, you know, we're bearish, but we don't really need indicators to tell us that we're bearish today. We can just look to the left. Maybe if we break this area, we head up and test this 4,000 area again. Try an 89 1/4. Let's try a long here, see what happens. I was hoping for a breakthrough out of here. We'll try to keep us short here. There's a 3-point stop. Hopefully that will hold. Hopefully that's enough. Hoping for a breakout above here. That's not looking good. Looks like we're going to get stopped out. Oh, maybe we survived. We'll see. I'm going to hit. Yeah, I'll give myself a little bit below here, like around. Put it to 85. Just because these EMAs are here, I'm hoping those EMAs will hold long enough to survive us. And once we start to get a little bit of momentum, then maybe we'll pull up our stop. But this is I should have probably waited till it broke these candles here. I was hoping this stop here would have worked okay. Not very convincing at the moment. I probably should be more around 83, but I'm not impressed by this trade so far, but we'll see. All right, so now maybe we'll get some traction here. Trying to get 5 points there. Let's go ahead and move this to break even +1, I think. Hopefully it won't come back and stop us out. I don't want to take profit here, but it's starting to peter out, and I'm afraid it's going to come back and stop me out, but we'll be patient. That was one of the things I had mentioned that I needed to try to do, is to just be more patient with these trades and see what we could get out of them. A little bit more. Come on, there we go. Nice. All right, that was 246 after, so 250. 250 times 2 accounts, I think it was. Make sure that it actually filled those. Yeah. One of my PA accounts didn't get filled. Oh well. We're out. That one actually turned out to be a... Well, never mind. Anyway, we did get... One of my PA accounts I was only trading micros on, and it must have, before I was able to move my stop down, I think it got filled, so we were actually lost $16 on the PA account. That's the bottom one, but we made 246 on these two. These were evals. But we'll take it. It's a little aggravating. I didn't have my my account window open, so I didn't notice it got closed. I probably would have re-entered. But anyway, that was nice. 5 points is a pretty good move on ES. Yeah, we have an ATR of 2.58, so 2 times ATR from your entry point is not too bad of a rule of thumb. We could re-enter here because we've pulled back to the 9, so maybe we get some momentum back up. But if it reverses, because we are in a bear trend here. I mean, we definitely have a downward bias here. So the question is, was this just a short-term pullback and now we're going to have a continuation of the bear trend? It's starting to look like it's just a pullback. I'm happy with that 5 points. Let's just sit on our hands. Let's not jump back in, although I did have a nice rejection of the 21 EMA right here. So we could have gone here. I don't know, starting to get a little choppy here. I was thinking about going long above this bar here, but before I could do it, this thing dumped, so I'm glad because I would have actually been in this trade. All right, I'm going to hold off. Just sitting and watching this a little bit as it consolidates here. Not sure if we're gonna take it up or down. This area is sort of consolidation, so maybe if we see a continuation up here, maybe do this. Possibly something like that, where we had to break out and then actually an overshoot and then continuation to the bottom, and then possibly a reversal to a new extreme here. But at the same time, if we break out of this, we're probably heading down. I'm going to make note of the time of this trade. That's around 8:39, 8:40. It makes it easier when I like to mark the trades when I post it so that people don't have to watch the whole damn video in order to see the trade. Actually, that was a little earlier of a trade than I normally take. I thought it was later, actually. didn't realize that, if I'm looking at that correctly, the trade was at like 8:39, so we were a little bit earlier than I generally like to take a trade. Yeah, this is just chopping around in this consolidation area. You see what we had to pull back here. I got kind of in that trade late. We touched here. Not too bad. I guess technically I got into it a little bit early. I was trying to take it off of this 20 EMA, but this bar was kind of big. Probably should have waited for this to come back and touch it, but it worked out the same because our entry point was early, but it would have turned out to be the same value. But now we're going to watch it because I really don't know if this is going to go up or down, because we're going to chop around in here for a while. I really think what's going to ultimately happen is we're going to break out through the top, but who knows? Like this here, this could be a trap, trapping some bears here, and then we're going to take it back up, or it's just continuation. Could come all the way down here. So let's see what's still left at around 80. Is here. Oh yeah. I don't know why this chart doesn't go back any further, but let's take a look at our 5 minute and see if that will help us. Yeah, so this may have been a bear trap right here, but we'll see. Could just be more consolidation. Anyway, where was I here? Back here. Okay, yeah, so yeah, right around 86, 81, 80. Yeah, 80 is a lot of yeah, right here there's a lot of support at the 80s. So maybe we break through there and we get some downside movement. I don't know why I'm struggling with these charts today. All right, there we go. Let's go back to this 3 minute, see what she looks like. Glad I took that 5 point and didn't let it run, but I kind of have to have fixed take profits because some of these that I trade are evaluations, and they have a trailing drawdown, meaning that the drawdown is following me. There's a high water mark. The higher it goes, the $2,500 drawdown is following me. So just because I made $250, that doesn't mean I have $2,750 of drawdown. I still have $2,500, and if it comes back, I'm losing some of that drawdown, if that makes sense. Now in the PAs, that's really not necessarily a thing. Once you build up at least 2,500 or 2,600 in your PA account, it's no longer a live trailing drawdown. It's just this flat, static 2,500. So if you build up your account to 5,000, now you have a $5,000 drawdown. 6,000, you have a $6,000 drawdown. That's not the case while you're in evaluation. Yeah, this thing is really dropping down. Yeah, I'm a little surprised. My bias would have been to chop around in here and then continue up, but clearly this was just a pullback of a otherwise bearish trend. I don't know if a measured move would be applicable here. Probably not. This was probably the measured move here. Yeah, boy, look at that. Almost to the tick. That's impressive. That's a measured move from here. One leg, two legs, reversal. Now we've broken it. Yeah, that wouldn't have been a bad short right here once we broke this area. Maybe we'll wait for a pull, wait for a pullback and then try a short. It's a 2000 tick. We're still at the bottom of this channel. Let me see if I need to adjust this a little bit. Let's just redraw it. Maybe something like that. I'm not convinced that this is going to continue down though, based on what I'm looking at here. It's definitely respecting this trend line at the moment. So we could get a move back up to the top of this channel. It's not a bad pullback on the 2000. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Not confident in this move, but that's the low there. 75 3/4. See if we get this move down. Let's see if we can avoid getting stopped out here. I took this on the break of this low swing here. That did not get filled. God damn it. That did not fill any of those. Son of a gun. That's so aggravating. Look at that. This one here, this is what you call your leader account. That's what triggers the trade. And then these are the actual accounts that the Trade Copier. So anyway, bottom line is the leader account, the Sim ES, that got filled, but none of the actual accounts got filled for some reason. That's so irritating. That is, son of a bitch. That is $350 gone. I mean, not gone, but didn't make. That's such a nice trade too. All right, don't worry about it. That's the problem with that trade copier. It's a little flaky. It should have filled. I'm going to try this again at the close of this bar. 72 and a quarter. Engulfing bar here. All right, it appears that these got filled. I'm probably FOMOing into this, but we'll see. I'll try to get something out of it. Let's go. All we need is a break of this bottom here, hopefully. Just watching. I might get out of this. Those wicks are starting to get ugly. Yeah. I think I want this above the 20 EMA though. Come on, let's go back down, baby. Come on, baby, let's go. Get down there. Fuck. Not good. And look at that, reverse right on me. Still slightly positive. We're up $30 on each of those accounts still. Still think we're going down here though. Damn. Oh my God, I can't believe that. Just ticked me out and away we go down. All I did was I moved my stop to above this 21 EMA, figuring it might bounce off of that, and it didn't go. Was there news at 9 o'clock? What day is today? Today is Wednesday. There was some Canadian news. Rate statements, overnight rate, monetary policy report, but that was all Canadian. Hard to believe that moved the market, although it is showing as a high impact news here. All right, let's just take a breath. We're still positive on the day. Let's not lose our shit here. Yeah, I can't believe Canadian news is what screwed me on that trade. I still think we're going down here. '70s. Let's see. So is this a double bottom, or are we heading back down? Kind of a W formation. Down, up, down, back up. That's disappointing. Taking it right back up where it was, so we might have been able to get out at break even, but there wasn't much beyond that. Still just watching, and now we're just consolidating again, so yeah, this sort of W formation is putting together. Down leg, up a little bit, down leg, up we go. But we'll see. We're just going to calm down. Still up about $60 on the day, after being up around 600. All because of the Canadian news. Or a bad trade, depending on how you want to look at it. Well, now we're going. Glad I had my stop in place there. Wow, look at this. Wow. Right up into the... This is the 21 EMA from the 5-minute chart. Let's just watch this and see how it settles out. We could be if we're convinced that it's a reversal, we can wait for a pullback to these EMAs and then hopefully get a rejection and then head up to VWAP. Not sure what to make of this now. Who would have thought we'd get this action on Canadian financial news? Yeah, I do actually see those on Forex Factory, the news, and even though it's showing high impact news, I tend to ignore anything other than the U.S., but that was course, it could be unrelated, but it just seemed like exactly at 9 o'clock this thing took off on you. So I'm going to say perhaps we're going to get some consolidation up in... What's going on here? There we go. Maybe we get a blast off through the top of this area. I wouldn't, typically I might take a trade off of this 9 EMA, but it really is just sort of chopped into it as opposed to a nice clean pullback. So I'm going to hold off on that. Maybe if we were to break, well, so that's a nice pull. Well, so pull back to the 21. If we break out of this consolidation, we still have to contend with this pivot point, but then maybe we get back up to here at 95. It's a higher low on this bar here. I'm tempted to go long off of this 21, but I'm a little bit shell-shocked from that Canadian news. Canadian news has got me a little flustered. Fucking Canadians. Sorry, I keep flipping around my different time frames here, just trying to get a perspective as to what's happening. It's not much of a channel, is it? Just watching, sitting on my hands until this we break out of this consolidation here one way or another. This little pivot down was 80. See if it holds this spot right here. See if it holds here and continues up, or we break down again. It's a big wick on that candle. Maybe we are going down. Wish my trade copier would have filled me on this trade right here. That would have been a nice $250. So that means we would have been up almost 300 over two accounts, so $600. Now we're only up 60. All right, so we're breaking down again. So the question now is, are we heading down to the bottom to make a new low? Or are we going to continue back up? This is 3 minutes, definitely looking bearish. Could also be another big old trading range here. Something like that. Which still might not be too bad. We could take a pullback into this area and ride it down to the bottom of the trading range, if that's what this is. Up against the 21 EMA here. That is a lower high, obviously. Broke right through the 21. This is getting a little bit confusing to me. This turned out to be a higher low here, obviously, again. Just trying to see what kind of trend lines make make any sense. And that one I don't think does. It's too big anyway. Got a couple hits on that one. I don't know where the bottom of it is, if that's accurate or not. I don't trust it in either direction at this moment. So let's just pause and watch it. While we're waiting for something to happen, let me just ask you to hit that subscribe button and hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and doesn't cost you a penny. Just follow me and hit the like button. If you want to be notified when I go live, hit the bell icon. Appreciate that. Also, we're trading... We're not trading our own hard-earned money. We're trading Apex Trader Funding money. If you would like to participate, you can use my code and you'll get 50% off. What is my code, I wonder? I should have put it on the screen, shouldn't I have? It'll be in the description of the other videos. Actually, I think it might just be on the home screen of this. I'll put it up later. This is kind of untradeable at the moment for me. It seems like the volume has died down too. Seems about right. I guess it seems pretty consistent throughout the morning. Let's see if I can find my code while we're doing nothing. Code is KOWAA PXK. Man, that's a horrible code, isn't it? But that's what it is. That'll get you 50% off Apex accounts. But frankly, I'd be more happy if you just subscribe to the channel. All right, let's see here. Are we going to break out the bottom of this? MACD not telling me much. We're all kind of bunched up together. This could easily just hit the bottom of this value area and reject it. I definitely wouldn't necessarily trust the breakout below here. I guess I'd be more inclined for it to break, pull back, and then follow it back down maybe. What's driving me nuts is that I'm trying to get back the 300 that or the 250 that we gave back, and that's obviously not a good way to trade. It's hard to get that out of the back of your mind, even though we are slightly positive on the day. The fact that we were up 300 on each account is in the back of my head, and I want to get back to it. I hate to end lower than my highest point of the day, but positive is positive, I guess. Live to fight another day. I think there's news tomorrow or Friday. Let me see. Thursday, 7:30 advanced GDP, and then on Friday core PCI at 7:30. So both days are some decent news events. Tomorrow at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, and then also tomorrow some medium impact new home sales at 10 o'clock. And there's also some real estate stuff on Friday at 10 o'clock, pending home sales, and also revised consumer sentiment. Those are listed as medium impact, but definitely best to not be in a trade, because even if it just, if you only have a 3-point stop loss, even just a minor move will take you out. So best to just not be in a trade at that time. Let's keep watching it. It's kind of just died out on us. I don't know that we're going to get any good opportunities anytime soon. Let's see what the NAS is doing here. Pretty much the same thing. About crude oil. And not too much action in crude either. If you're just tuning in, we're just waiting for something to happen here. We are flat on every description. I mean, look at that MACD. MACD is just flat. Look at that. So it's boring, but it is definitely a no trade zone here. But this pause in the action gives you an opportunity to hit that like button if you already haven't done it. And certainly subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I did. You should too. That's kind of stuff I like about indicators. Like in general, I'm not a big fan of advanced indicators. You know, I like the EMAs and that sort of thing, value area, the volume profile. But you know, like things like the MACD, I don't really pay attention to. But in a case like this, it actually helps you a lot because, you know, we're below the EMA, so you might consider this to be bearish. So you might, you know, be tempted to take a short off of these EMAs, but then you look down at the MACD and you see that there's just nothing going on. There's no reason to believe we're bearish or bullish here. So it helps in certain situations like that, I think. Market's always going to be moving, though. There's no reason to be in a trade. And it's one sort of byproduct of this live streaming I didn't anticipate was, you know, the field that you have to entertain and take trades. But the real reason I started doing this was more to not overtrade, to control my trading, so I'm not going in and out of trades like a drunken monkey. But at the same time, you feel like, well, you have to have something to show people. But maybe that in and of itself is showing some patience is helpful. We'll still be here for half an hour, so maybe something will happen. I think we would have to break down below here to even think about a trade, and even then, let's take a look over to the left here, see what we're up against. Yeah, 80 does seem like 80 is what's holding us up here. The 80s. Yeah, 80s is our is a key support, I think, or resistance, I guess, from the bottom. So I think we're going to break down here at some point. And I think there's a pretty good area for it to drop. There's not a lot holding us up below here. Yeah, maybe down to around 46. I don't see a lot. just painfully slow. It's just sort of dripping down, kind of just melting. There's definitely a bearish bias here. I wouldn't trust just going short below here, though. We got to give it some reason to give us some reason to trust it. This was a nice bearish bar here. Look at that nice long wick. I was watching somebody who was talking about a way to objectively judge a bearish bar. And one way was this, but so as long as this whole body closed below the 38.2, it was a good signal for a short. So which would mean, you know, we're below the EMAs, especially the 20 EMA, nice bearish bar, and you go short below that bar. One theory. But now we got the exact opposite situation, so there's more to it. You can't just use one indication, just one bearish bar. Both these, this is still bearish, I guess. I thought it was going to turn green. It was starting to look like a green bar. Still holding up on this bottom of the value area. We did reach a new low. It's a new low on the day. Now we're starting to maybe break down. This channel does, I don't know what this channel is. I don't know where I drew this. This is not, it's got like one touch. I don't even know what it's doing there. Let's see. It looks more like it. I was tempted to go short below this, but it didn't seem like a high probability trade. And you can see it's still not exactly taken off. Some volume building here. Here's the 15-minute. There's not a lot going on here. Looks like we're good to down to the 50s. It's too bad. 5 points just right here, just from the bottom of the last bar to here is 5 points. Still seems lethargic. I mean, even though we're making decent moves down, it just seems like it's in slow motion. Pull back into this area here.
Okay, I found this on the web for here. Check it out.
All right, Siri. I don't know what Siri heard, but she heard something. So this area of supply here could be a possible area to short if we can get some rejection off of it. Maybe take it all the way up to the 9 and then go short. It's failing to reach the bottom of this channel though, at least in this run. Didn't really break through this convincingly, did it? I'm hesitant to even continue trading after 11 today just because of this anemic price action. I'm just asking to be chopped up. I think I'm better off to take my tiny little profit, let's call it break even, and live to fight another day. Just just looking at the chart, it looks obvious, just go short off of the EMAs, but it's just so choppy and so unorganized. I feel like if I were to jump in here and go short, I would just be, I don't know if you'd call it FOMO, but it's just that I would just be a boredom trade. Getting back up in the top of this channel and touching the 9 EMA. Didn't quite make it to the 9 yet. Got some volume building here. Didn't quite make it to the 9. That's a 2000 tick chart, and we're well above the EMAs on it, but the 3 minute, we're still below. 1 minute, we're like right up in it. This actually doesn't look that bad for a short. Let's see, low, so 69 would be our short. The 2000 tick is indicating up. Wow. This is so confusing today. Man, look at that thing take off all of a sudden. Ugh. Still in a bearish downtrend. So I tend to be looking for shorts here. I mean, by any definition, this is a downtrend. I don't know if you can pick that up through the mics. All the snow blowers are out there cleaning up the snow we got this morning in Chicago. One minute is actually showing a long here, but I just don't trust longs right here. Yeah, there's our trend line. Something like that maybe, or if that's an overshoot, I don't know. Getting a lot of wicks at the top of this channel, but we are above the 21 EMA. Well below the 105 EMA, which, as I've said, is the equivalent, more or less, of the 21 EMA on the 5-minute. And there's a lot of nice wicks here. I know I'm going to end up jumping in here on a short and get screwed. Whoa, look at crude oil. That's actually a pretty interesting trade forming for crude oil, isn't it? Although this bar is so big. Sure as heck I'm not going long at the top of that bar, but after this thing fills out, that would be an interesting trade, but let's focus on this. I could jump in here for just pick up some 1-point gains, but I hate just scalping for 1 point. All these charts are below the 20 EMA and the 9. Short here is probably good to at least the bottom. What is that? 67 to 63. That's 4 points. 4 or 5 points maybe. Well, I may continue to trade later in the day if things pick up, but after this stream, I guess I have to go out and shovel the sidewalks. I think we're getting light snow for the next 3 or 4 days here. That 9 EMA is holding pretty consistently, but we have some pretty big wicks, that would take your stops out. Even though if you had a big enough stop, that 9 EMA is holding pretty decently, but those wicks are even taking out the 21 EMA. And now we're breaking our channel a little bit. We'll see if this ends up wicking out too. We'll see if this bar closes below our trend line in the 9 EMA. This area is definitely an area of equilibrium that we've boxed out here. So now we're testing this 21 again. We're on the 3-minute chart. Maybe times here. Let's put I don't know why I don't have my bar timer on here. There we go. About 10 seconds left on this bar. Yeah, this is just a recipe for a train wreck. You just get chopped to pieces here. Although you can look all the way back to before the open, the 21 EMA has been holding things. Well, folks, we're getting close to the end. We'll stay here for a couple more minutes, but unless something drastically changes, I think that I am done trading for this day. Hopefully we'll see some better price action. We had one good trade at the beginning. We had actually two good trades. The second one, it was a technical problem on my end because I was using my Trade Copier and it filled the leader account, which is a sim account, but then it didn't fill the actual accounts. So that was a non-trade. It didn't get traded at all. That one went for $250. That one was a 5-point runner, 5-point trade. We had a 5-point to start the day, another 5-point that our Trade Copier screwed us on, and then we had a loser for about it was less than $250, like $200 or something like that. So we ended up $30 on two of the accounts. And I think actually on a PA account, I actually went down $38 because, again, some fill problems with that Trade Copier. That Trade Copier is great, but it also can cause you some headaches. So $29.54 times 2 minus $38.29. So we're up $20 overall on the day. Well, that's better than a loss, right? I mean, But it's a little aggravating. We could have just taken the one trade and went back to bed. But I think that that's going to be it. This price action is frustrating, at least for me. Maybe you guys are having no problem with it, but I just see opportunities for getting screwed in both directions. So I'm going to hold off until when and if any patterns emerge. Right now, I'll leave the screens on, but I'm not going to. Most likely, I'm going to say I won't trade because I have to go out and shovel snow. All right. I want to thank you all for listening. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd appreciate you do that. Hit that like icon. The like button if you haven't. And hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when I go live every morning. I really appreciate your time. And I will see you tomorrow morning. As far as I know, if nothing else changes, I will be here in the morning. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.